Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 631. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today's Sunday, the 15th of October, 2023.
Laura, made it through Friday the 13th.
Yep.
In a middle school. It was rough, but we made it.
I was not part of that. Thankfully. Laura and I both use she, her pronouns. I don't have any fun shirts on today. What does yours say?
Books save lives.
Ah. Stop book bans, protect libraries.
Yep.
Yeah, so Lori and I had a crafty weekend the weekend before. Well, Laura had a crafty day.
One day.
And then was ill.
Yep. Spent the next 2.5 days in bed with a fever, trying to not vomit. Yay.
I got to share that bed.
Yep.
So that was super fun. But I didn't catch whatever.
You didn't. I think Ponky did, though, because she said she had a fever. It was just like a fever and nausea and body aches. It was not COVID. Tested when I got home. Because we were also in the middle of nowhere and had nothing. So I was very fortunate in that I threw some liquid IV in my bag before I left. Highly recommend traveling with liquid IV. It is just like a powder version of Gatorade, essentially, that you throw in a bottle of water.
It has like vitamins, electrolytes. It's sort of like emergency, but like after the fact, and it like helps rehydrate you quicker. I had never heard of it until last year when Laura asked me to grab some for her for something. So I had to look it up. But it's like a powder that you add to your...
My doctor recommended it when I got super dehydrated when I was having an allergic reaction to a med that I was on. And she's like, if you don't rehydrate, you're going to go to the ER. So, she gave me like 5 hours to get my liquid level back up before I was going to have to go to the ER, and it helped with that. I also had NyQuil that I travel with, so I'm like a walking medicine cabinet basically now after this year when I travel, thank goodness, because we were in the middle of nowhere. But I did not make the best, like, when we were driving back, I was trying to work on the sock. See how I'm transitioning there. And I was just telling Leslie, I got through the heel and put it on the other day, and it was 13 inches, and my foot is a total of 10 inches long. So I had to rip back the heel and an additional pink and orange section. And now I'm back going to town. This is Lunz and Nosh costume party, and I'm knitting it on size 0 needles. And then the other things that I worked on before I got sick, for the most part, and then a smidge since I got home, I've been working on my floodlight tee, and I tried it on the other day, and I have around 3 more inches to go, and then I will be done with it just in time for the weather to turn to 60s instead of 80s. But it'll be a good top for the summer and spring of next year. And I just busted into my 3rd cake of Wink Pigments. This is their Flex Silk Blend, Linen Silk Blend in the fingering weight, and it is a very light fingering weight. This is being knit on size 3 needles, and I've been knitting it since June. This has been a slow sweater year for me.
You haven't focused exclusively on it, so...
I have spent a lot of time on it, but no, this has definitely been like a year of socks for me, for sure. And then the last thing that I've been working on, and the last clue just came out on Friday the 13th, so I'm behind, but that's okay. I got behind when I got ill. I'm about to start a color work section. So this is the Tilly Bean Knits Haunted House MCal. So I finished section 4. I'm about to start section 5, and that's when it just got connected. I misread the pattern and cut my yarn, and then had to reattach it for 1 row to join it. But
100% have done that before.
Yeah. Yep. There will be lots of ends to weave in, but that's okay. That'll give me something to do during at night one night. But yep, about to start a bats section of color work, and it's color work from here on in. So I'm super stoked about that. But yeah, that is, and this is out of just like random mini schemes that were in my stash. So a lot of Miss Babs, Leading Men Fiber Arts primarily, and then the bright pink is Marigold Jen. So, and that's being knit on some Diacraft heavy metals on size 3 that I got to try. Yeah, I just got them. They were like, we're doing our last update ever, probably, of the heavy metals. And I was like, I want to try those tips.
Yeah.
And I've been lacking on the size 3s, which means that I went out and bought like 5 size 3s recently. Because I'm like, I don't have enough size 3s, so let me over-purchase.
She 100% does, but they're probably in other projects.
I don't know. Like, I've never been a size 3 person. I've always primarily used size 4s, but I'm getting looser again. And so, back down to the size 3s.
Oh, sorry, I'm yawning like crazy today.
I'm so boring, that's why.
It's not that. It's been a fun-filled time since we got back from the trip. The dogs have fleas, and the cats no longer do, but the dogs do still. So I've bathed 3 dogs twice last week, as well as spraying everything, washing everything in hot water, vacuuming. It's just been so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yep.
But anyway, so as far as what I worked on while we were out of town, I've gotten to a point on my halfway pullover where I have to like count and figure out, because I changed how the intarsia was done, because she did it with like this short row method, and I didn't like that. I wanted to do it a different way. So now I need to figure out how I'm going to do the division of front and back, because my directions are a little different than hers, and that requires counting, and I just haven't been there. It's just not been a place where I can do counting. But
also, when puppies are parkouring off of you all the time, it makes it hard to count.
So I switched to the other color of lace weight. So now it's a very clear division.
Oh, look at that!
It's much brighter on camera than it is in person. It looks like, on screen, it looks crazy different. And it's not quite that.
It is an intense color change on screen. It's less
not
intense.
Quite as, intense in person.
There definitely is more white in the top layer than the bottom.
Yeah, and so this will end up slightly cropped on me. Not like crop, but like I tend to like a tunic length sweater. This one is more
hip length.
Like high hip length, which is fine.
Are you gonna wear it with like a dress?
Yeah,
or a skirt.
Or a dress.
Ooh, we should make those. And by me, I mean you. We should make those skirts that Amy Beth makes with the big pockets.
The peppermint pattern.
Yeah.
So this is ready for the division of front and back, but it requires counting and just haven't been there. I also need to empty out this bag because it's now got...
I have a bag to empty out.
Fabric and the ends of...
Oh, are you going to show your little yo-yos? Yes.
They're not yo-yos, but yes.
Yes, whatever they are. Paper piecing.
So I did that. I also made some progress because I poured more knit on this than anything else while I was there. Because it is a single color and requires no thought because it's just knit around.
I like how there's under grandpa.
Malia stuck these. So this is the Edgerton light pullover.
I'm impressed you can fit that in that teeny tiny bag.
I really need to move it to something else. But yeah, so the last time I showed this, I had just split for the sleeves. Now I'm about 3 inches past the sleeve division. So I knit on this a lot, like in the mornings while we were sitting out. People were drinking coffee. I was drinking soda.
There are some lovely swings.
And watching the mist off the lake. So it was really nice. So this is, you know, I just broke into the second scheme. I do need to change the bag that it's in because it is no longer going to fit in this tiny Delicue bag that Teresa got me. So I do need to find a bigger bag. If only I had another bag that I could use.
I have like 20 Halloween bags.
I have
You
plenty.
need a Halloween bag.
I have plenty of bags. And then the only other thing that I really did while I was there was Jess, Little Hip Kitty. I don't know if she's still on Ravelry or not. I guess she probably is. Did a jelly roll quilt each. Actually, I think she did 2 because she brought enough for 2 and had leftover time, so she did 2. But yeah, I have no idea what the fabric is. It's just something I grabbed out of my stash. It's like lap quilt size.
Yeah, that'll be great for this winter.
And I'll just do like stitch in the ditch. It's nothing fancy. So, and I'll be able to do this on my machine because it's just straight lines, nothing crazy. So yeah, I finished this while I was there. This is just the top, not the whole thing, of course. And then when I got back, I cast on for my friend Sue's in New Jersey. She decided that she wasn't going to knit anymore like a year or so ago, and has been sending her stash to Laura and I. And
which is another reason why Leslie is like, I cannot purchase any more stuff.
Yeah, like I didn't buy any of the stuff that she sent me. She just gave it to me, and like that's increased my stash by, and I only took like 1/5 of what came into my house. And then I let Laura pick, and then we let our knit group pick, and then we had like some we gave away at SSK and put on the For You Good Home table and stuff. It was all good stuff, but like I'm reached max capacity. But I wanted
and
to
we're
do
very spoiled by Susan.
We really are. And she's a lovely human. She sent me this really great banner thing that says it's all a bunch of hocus pocus.
Aww.
And like cross stitched in that like 46 count thread, the unbelievably tiny thread. But I wanted to do something nice for her, and after bothering her for about a month, I finally got her to send me her measurement, her bust measurement, and had her look at some sweater patterns and what she might like. And she picked the Boxy V-neck.
Yeah, the DK one.
Yes. Well, it's written for worsted. I'm using DK, but I got the gauge that she called for on the needles that she called for, but I'm using a thinner yarn. Typically, I have to go up a needle size. Plus, she tells you, Hohi Locatelli, who wrote the pattern, lovely human being.
She's got a new pattern that I love.
I haven't seen it yet.
I might have bought it the other day.
Yeah, that does not surprise me. But yeah, Hohi tells you when you're blocking the swatch to really stretch it out, because this is a loosely knit, well, not loosely, but like, anyhow. So I cast it on, or I did a swatch, it measured perfect, and so now it has a very, very small amount of ribbing at the bottom, and then I'm about, what would you say, 5 inches, 4 inches?
Yeah, what yarn are you using?
I am using a really lovely yarn. It is Green Mountain Spinnery's Cotton Comfort.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really lovely
I bought a sweater, a lot of that.
I did too. But not for me. But I really like it, and I think it'll be light enough to be worn not just in winter. Sue's runs a little warm like I do, so I'm excited to see.
It's a wool cotton blend.
Yeah, it is a wool cotton blend, and I'm knitting. The gauge sizes for Boxy or not gauge sizes, the measurements for the finished garment for Boxy are like 20 inches larger than what your typical bust measurement is.
Yeah, if you're ever doing Boxy, here's a helpful hint. You want to go by your upper sleeve measurement more so.
And she says
your
it in
upper
this
bicep.
pattern.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Than the bust measurement.
Yeah, so
because you don't want to be a T-Rex.
I do need to get that from Sue's, but I'm just doing the large size. I think it's the 4th size listed. Because Sue's is about a 43-ish inch bust, and she likes oversized stuff. So
perfect.
Yeah, so that's all. This is basically what I've been knitting on while I got sucked into Love is Blind. I haven't watched that show before, but Malia talked about it, and it is super messy. And I have decided I'm no longer going to watch it because it kills my brain cells. I can't do that anymore.
You're done with it?
I believe that I am done with it.
Okay.
I need happy things, not like burn the world down things. So.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I've been working on.
Cool.
You have some spinning, right?
I do. I just have a smidge. So I am working on a sock spin, but it's not quite to a point where I can show it. But this is the bat.
That is from so much more peach than you typically.
I know. I'm gonna knit little pumpkins out of it though.
It's very cute. It's a great color.
It is like a peach-based beverage. I think like peach iced tea or something was the colorway. It is from Knit Spin Farm. I just signed up for her Advent, the unwrapped version, because that way I can play with it a little bit more. And
that's nice that she offers an unwrapped version.
Yes, and it's at a discount because it's less labor and less materials. And I also have this thing about wrapping presents like in paper. It just irritates me. But anyway, my issues are not your issues. So I just find it incredibly wasteful. Anyway, bat from Knit Spin Farm. I have no idea on the yardage because I wound it off real fast because I was going to knit ever-in little mini pumpkins for a retreat and then just didn't get to it. So I'm still planning on knitting mini pumpkins. Might not happen this year. We'll see. I kind of have my hands full right now, unlike every other time in life. But yeah, it's super cute. I am trying to spin and knit a little bit more, and hockey season is helping with that. So I've been able to watch 3 hockey games.
Oh, crap, I forgot to preheat the oven. I'm going to text my husband.
And at this point, you can just put it in.
But I don't. Laura drives me nuts. Well, her mom does this too. They turn the oven on to preheat and immediately put whatever it is in there without waiting for it to preheat. That messes up the cooking time. At least I feel that way. I mean, Mama Linneman knows 1,000 times more than I ever will about almost everything.
It's fine.
So
I just go for the actual, like, it's fine. It's fine. I think my mom and I both have ovens that don't work so great. So,
your mom shouldn't.
I don't know. It's not, she doesn't have a new oven. That came with that house. But anyway.
Your mom deserves the best and should have the best.
We'll tell Weezy.
Yeah.
But I have like a thermometer in there, and anyway, I use a meat thermometer anyways. It's fine.
I do now because I cooked salmon once and it was not done well enough. So now I always make sure.
Anyway, it's fine. All right. That's it for me for spinning, but you have your English paper piecing stuff.
Yeah, so one of the things well, I say Laura was ill, so I don't know that she would have participated anyway, but we tried a couple of new crafts at the retreat. One of them was, well, Kenna had this little pin loom, so we had woven some hexies last year.
I saw one on your floor downstairs.
Yeah, I know, the dog. She got one, I guess now they make one that's like a diamond, and when you attach it to the hexies, it makes it look like 3D. It's really cool. So I want to try that, but I didn't get around to trying it while I was there. But we did try, Malia taught us how to do 4-strand braiding for a rug, which was cool.
That's very cool.
And then she and Amy Beth showed me how to do English paper piecing. I guess it's a new thing that they picked up relatively recently, and so they were showing me how to do it. And I wouldn't say I'm like obsessed with it, but it is really cool and has some.
Amy Beth is making a super cute bowl. It does like very fussy cuts.
Yeah, English paper piecing lends itself to fussy cutting. To use fabric in a more like thoughtful way, although fussy cutting can be wasteful. Anyhow, so we had gone to the Quilt Museum in Paducah, and in their gift shop they had some really cool prints that I thought would lend themselves to paper piecing, including a couple of really beautiful prints featuring black women. So these are all paper pieced, and I do the glue basting.
Someone let the dogs back in.
Yeah, but he preheated the oven, so I'll forgive him. So this is part of what I'm working on, and this is the other part of what I'm working on. It's right now it's all taped together because I'm sewing it together on the back. So you'll have to wait to see it next week, but it's going to be a clock.
It's very cute.
So it'll have the women at each, hour, and then I'm going to buy a clock mechanism that'll go through the little thing in the center. So it's going to be really cool. I'm excited about it. It does require, at least for me, it requires a lot of light, and I need a magnifier because the needle that you need to sew these together is so thin it bends.
Wow.
And I have big fat sausage fingers, and I'm not saying that in like a deprecating way, it's just a factual thing. I have big fat sausage fingers, and it's hard to use that tiny little needle. So anyhow, it's a fun new thing. I'm glad I learned it. So once I get this done, I think this will be a prize for SSK one year. That seems like a fun thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know why my face looks like I got beaten up. I didn't. I guess I'm having a acne breakout.
Well, you had your breathing mask on.
I did, but typically it doesn't leave like. Anyway, I'm not being harmed. I just. As far as what I'm reading, I'm still reading Scourge of Pleasantries. I'm on the second book, and I'm re-listening to The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss because there's a new one that has come out or is coming out this month. What about you?
I read the new Sam Burns book, Where Foxes Say Goodnight, which is a very, southern, cozy, romancy type thing. It does have a ghost in it, so it's not for you, but I really, really enjoyed it. And Sam Burns is a knitter.
Yeah.
So that is also very cool. I've been reading what they've been writing for quite a while. But this has been my favorite in a long time, so.
That's nice.
Not that the other stuff was not my favorite, but I really enjoyed this one. I'm very much in my cozy era of reading.
You're allowed to like some things more than other things.
Yep.
It's okay.
And I've just been watching a ton of hockey and watching Nakobe Dean play football today.
Former student, Nakobe
Yep.
Dean.
He plays for the Eagles, and he was injured, but now he's back. So that's awesome. And because the Steelers are on a bye this week, they're not playing. And it was the national game, which was nice because I don't get to see him play very often. And that's about it for me. We have a striped sweater cal, and that is with Indigo Dragonfly. And it will start in November. We'll have more details coming shortly, but
Including a new pattern, right?
yes. So there is a new pattern that's being released at Rhinebeck this coming week. But there is 15% off any qualifying pattern. And I linked the it's like a striped sweater knit along. So any of her striped sweaters will work. And she created a bundle, and you can get 15% off any of those with the code KNITMORE15. I'm not certain if it's just on Ravelry or also on her website, so I'm going to figure that out.
We'll talk about it next time.
We will talk about it next time. She'll also have kits available on her website because she does yarn. And we'll be hosting that in our Discord. It will run from November 1st until the end of February. And that sound means Leslie's being paged.
Yeah.
So we should probably go.
I love my
work.
job. Yep, so you guys have an awesome week and weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.